Hello, my passenger friends. I just want to take a moment before we jump into the next episode of the Carffice to just let you know, hey, if you've been enjoying this podcast thus far, can I please encourage you to like, follow, subscribe, pass it on, share it with your friends, family, maybe the guy next to you as you're driving down the highway. Actually, you probably should pull over first. You know what I'm saying. But here's the thing. If this is adding value to your life, please pass it on. As simple as that. Again, I'm doing this. I'm on here. I don't want to waste your time. If it's not wasting your time and you're enjoying it, anytime we enjoy something, right, we pass it on. And we say, hey, check out this crazy guy's in his car. It's his car office, his Carffice. And again, I just want to thank you all in advance, all my listeners, everybody that's been already following, liking, subscribing, sharing, posting, whatever it is. Just want to thank you all in advance for sharing and posting out the Carffice Podcast. So just want to stop here really quick, let you know about that, and I'm super excited for us to jump into our next episode. And so let's go do that. All right, see you there. Hello, my passenger friends. Welcome to another episode of the Carffice Podcast, my car office. I'm your host, Greg Gross. Please buckle up and enjoy the ride. Hey, we are back. Episode 3. I just want to say that 3 times for you. Did you notice that? I don't know if you also noticed, but if you are watching this on YouTube, you'll obviously probably notice this more than if you just listen to this, which, by the way, again, if you're listening to this on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, hey, welcome, and I'm glad you're doing that. If you do get a chance, though, to watch the videos of these, I'm guessing in some ways it's going to be a little bit more enjoyable because you actually get to experience the Carffice. You get to see what's all going on behind me, which, I mean, isn't a lot of exciting things. You might hear a lawnmower, someone's cutting their lawn. Also, you might notice if you have been watching these on YouTube that I'm in a different location every time. I mean, it's not really like on purpose. It just happens because I just try to find like quieter areas, some good shade, and where I'm not going to get interrupted by who knows what. But you know what? One of these episodes I might get interrupted, or maybe, a cop will come by and look at me and think I'm suspicious. I don't know. We hope that doesn't happen though. But welcome. Hey, last episode, last week, that was a humdinger, huh? Anybody else ever say that word? Or when's the last time you heard that word? Or maybe you never heard that word, humdinger. It was a very broad overview of my birth up until August of 2021, so this past August. And if you didn't take a chance to listen, go back. There's a lot of different things in the episode that will help lead into this episode. And then there's a lot of things in the episode that I'll probably make like their own individual episodes. And so because there's so much I had to get through in such a small amount of time, kind of like today, so I want to jump right in. This episode, if you notice, is called Economo What? Economo what? Because my family, since the fall, September, have lived in Oconomowoc. Say it with me. Oconomowoc. Okay. We've actually lived outside of Oconomowoc in an unincorporated city called Ashapin since the fall with my parents. And during this episode, I'm going to break everything down for you. I got some notes so I stay on track. So again, I mean, if you're watching this on YouTube, you'll notice when I, glance down just so I stay on task here. But obviously, if you're listening to this, you would never know that. So maybe I should just stop telling you that. Anyways, this is my Carffice Podcast, and it's all over the place. If you haven't noticed already through the first 2 episodes. So, hey, a little side note before we jump in. It's kind of funny because I actually, these come out on a Monday, and I'm not recording this on a Monday right now. It's actually Friday, but you won't see this until Monday. But I will be sharing this with everybody on social media tomorrow, which is Saturday. Oh my gosh! I mean, today's Friday. Holy cow! Today is Friday. I'm recording this on a Friday, what I'm about to share on social media is going to be shared tomorrow, Saturday. And if you're listening to this or watching this, it's Monday or later. So you follow that. If not, that's fine. That's fine. But anyways, I wanted to show you this. If you're on YouTube, this is my newest tattoo, and you can see there's film over it because it's still healing up. I'll get to take that off tomorrow. But there's my Never Walk tattoo right on my wrist. And if you notice, like my hand as I'm maybe lifting it up in this video, I just wanted to let you know my wife got a tattoo yesterday. I got a tattoo. This is my 4th tattoo. I got my Pioneer. Again, if you can watch it, I'm showing them my tattoos. Never Walk, Hebrews 12:1, just the whole Never Walk, and then the logo right here, and then on my chest. Oops, sorry, hit my mic there. Is another tattoo that I'm not gonna, take the time to mess up the mic and all that kind of stuff. It's just my 4 initials of my kids. You're like, Greg, but you only have 3. You're right. Courtney had a miscarriage 12 weeks after Ellis. So after Ellis, in between Ellis and Etney, 12 weeks. That's what Etney's a rainbow baby. But we lost what we firmly believe was a boy. We feel like God confirmed that to us. And we both had separate dreams. And so we named him Ender Abel, which means rare breath. So 4 E's all connected together with their dates, birth dates. And then Courtney, she got a tattoo, my wife, yesterday with 3 little birds and 1 bird flying off, and that was symbolism of Ender flying off and Emerson, Ellis, and Etney on the wire sitting there. So, hey, this is just some of that extra. This has nothing to do with the episode today, but that's the cool thing about episodes is that, you could have a direction, but you could just go off in rabbit trails. So there you go. Just want to share that with you guys briefly because, hey, if I'm going to get on here and I'm going to share, yes, I'm going to have probably some type of direction, some type of script, some type of bullet points. But, I'm also just going to be free because I can be, and hopefully you don't mind. And if you do, well, the door's right over there. Haha, get it? The door's right over there because we're in my Carffice. Okay. Anyways, so we're going to jump in today. Already did a recap, intro, boom, boom, boom. So I'll start here. Why did we move initially from Burlington, Wisconsin? Because if you listen to the last episode, that's where we left off, from Burlington, Wisconsin, in with my parents. Why did that even happen in the first place? Really, long story short there, we just really, again, felt the shift of God, the shift out of vocational ministry. And then as we were in Burlington, we knew there was something next, something, in our future. But we really didn't know what that was yet. And for us to stay in Burlington, there was really, even though obviously we love Burlington, still love Burlington, the people of Burlington, you all know who you are. But we just knew it wouldn't be wise just to stay there if we didn't have a purpose there. And we had a purpose there for so long, but we knew we were kind of in a transitional season. And so we are blessed enough, and I'm going to say this a few times, especially with some other stuff I'm going to share today. We are blessed enough that my parents allowed us to come in with our 3 kids into their home in Ashapin, unincorporated Wisconsin, outside of Oconomowoc. See how I did all that? To spend, our idea was 6 months to a year. 6 months to a year, no more than that. And they opened up their home to us. Obviously, there's a lot of pros to that. There's cons to that, and we're going to walk through those today on this episode. So why? The why is we just felt the shift. We knew we didn't hold a grand purpose to stay in Burlington anymore. And we knew we had to kind of reset. We knew we had to kind of take time to process, pray, and see what was next. And a perfect opportunity for that was, to save some money, go live with my parents, and, kind of see and what was next. So September, end of August, beginning of September of 2021. Sorry, of 2020, right? Yes. Sorry, my last episode was birth to August 2020. I don't know if I have to change that in my notes, by the way. I'm just thinking about that. Anyways, and so this episode's all about what has been going on these last 8 months, almost 8 months, as we've been with my parents. So coming in, we had our different ideas, just lining stuff up. I've talked about this before, so I already knew I was going to continue a life and health coach. I can do that from anywhere, so that's what I did. And my goodness, through COVID and through everything, I know this is not for everybody, and this is not me trying to project anything necessarily, but we were blessed enough that, our business grew through COVID, and we've been able to help a lot of people get healthy. So that's been a blessing as we've been living with my parents, saving money, paying off debt, all that kind of stuff. I also knew that this was a season to work as much as I could. And as Courtney had, more help at home with my parents and Emerson, we decided with Emerson, because so Ellis is not in school yet, but we decided with Emerson to homeschool her. We found a great program, and Courtney has been doing a phenomenal job. Hasn't been easy, I'll tell you right now, and I've helped, a handful of times too, but it's more so it's been Courtney and, homeschooling Emerson, and it's a kindergarten. So, I'll say this, we realized that homeschooling is not for us, at least in this next season, this next connection flight, and Emerson is eager to go back to school, and so she will be enrolled in public school this fall in Fairview, which is right outside of Erie, a township of Fairview outside of Erie, for school. So, but in this meantime, in these 6 to 8 months, it was doable. It worked, and we were blessed that we were able to do that. We just thought it was the best thing with everything going on at the time, and with COVID and the craziness of schools, and they were shutting down anyways, and it was virtual anyways. It's just like, hey, we will just homeschool Emerson. And so, so Courtney's just been mom. That's her main role. So blessed that she can just be mom and not have to necessarily work or anything like that. She can do the best work, and that's being a mom. So all you moms out there, shout out. If you are a stay-at-home mom and you're taking care of those kiddos 24/7, again, I could not do what you do. I couldn't afford my wife if I had to pay her. You are doing the best thing you can possibly do for your family right now, and that's take care of those kids. And you're the best thing for those kids. Not that the dad isn't important, believe me, it's important. And I definitely have a role, a very important role, but I just wanted to shout out to you moms. Thank you. Thank you for all you do. Courtney, I love you. Thank you for what you do. Our family wouldn't be able to do what we do without you. I wouldn't be able to do what I do without you. So with all that being said, that's what Courtney's been up to, which is a lot. And then I also picked up Uber and Lyft part-time, which I've talked about. Here it is. This is my man van, Uber Liftering. And I actually know I'm going to do an episode all about fun, crazy stories with Uber and Lyft. That's going to probably be in a few episodes. Because next episode, we're going to talk all about Erie. Why Erie? Why did we choose Erie? How did that all come about? That's not what this episode's about. And then talking about what things we're looking forward to. And then after that, so 3 episodes down the road, just a little teaser, I'm going to share with you some crazy fun stories of my 8 months of Liftering. Okay? Are you okay with that? It's pretty crazy. So, I digress. Where was I? Maybe I should look at my notes. Okay, why did we move here? What have we been doing? Homeschool. Mom, Courtney is momming. And I've been life and health coaching, and then Uber and lifting. So it's it's been a whirlwind, everybody. My passenger friends, it's been a whirlwind. If any of you've lived with your parents or your in-laws, can we just share the elephant in the car right now? I was gonna say the elephant in the room, elephant in the Carffice right now. It's not easy, okay? It's not easy. Yes, pros. I already named all the pros, and I'll come back to them. Saving money, an awesome place to live. We are super blessed and grateful. Extra help with the kiddos, allowing me to work and pay off things, all that kind of stuff. And I love my parents. They're wonderful people. I've been very blessed to have amazing parents my whole life, and very grateful for that. But we were not meant, I believe, to live with our parents or our in-laws for any extended period of time. And it's been challenging. And I'm just going to be very real and vulnerable and share some of those things right now. And Courtney Courtney already knows, and many of you know this about her story too, or maybe you've never heard this, and that's fine. But this is the purpose, to bring you guys into our lives so we can share what's going on here. So, just kind of go into some of the difficult things, how it's been going. If many of you might not know this, but Courtney, her whole life, she has contended with mental health. And I like to use the word contending because it's just more of a positive connotation. I don't like the word struggle, but contending. She's contended with mental health, and it's a real thing. So for all of you out there that contend with mental health and you have a mental health illness, no matter what that looks like, just want you to know, keep contending, keep fighting. And Courtney's been off and on, little medications here and there. She sees, a counselor, and we do all the things holistically and medically. We try all the things because we believe it's important to do that. And so, let's see here. So, for Courtney, it hasn't been the easiest, just with this season, and she's not been able to get out as much, and I'm away a lot and doing my role. And so it's wearing. And the kids, the kids are great. But I think all of us, not just Courtney, all of the kids including in their own ways, just physically and mentally hasn't been the healthiest for us. And it's nothing against my parents or their house or the living situation. It's just things that we didn't expect, things that we didn't realize would happen. It's not like, you think about these things and there's just a lot of variables going on. And so it hasn't been overall the healthiest for us, which, by the way, if you saw my post from this past week, I did my follow-up recap post about how I had to make a decision in January because I was let my physical health slide, which was also affecting my own personal mental health. And I had to stop making excuses. And that's why I created the Never Walk 101 program. And I not just got back down to my healthy weight, but the Never Walk 101 program was to help me with my mental toughness and perseverance and grit and fortitude and just get back to the best me so I can continue to better others. Because we need to remember that. The best us betters others. The best you will better others. And so if we are not bettering ourselves every day and we're just so used to helping others, we're not really helping others to the best if we're not bettering ourselves. So, and we all go in seasons, ebbs and flows, and there's no excuse. I can make excuses. It's just life caught up to me in some ways, and I needed to make a decision. I have this new belief system that we all have to make a decision at some point in our lives to go from our amateur ways to go pro in our health, our body, our mind, our heart, and our spirit. We have to make a decision if we want to do that to become a better version of ourselves. So, the mental health, the physical health, the kid adjustments, just behavioral things, if you can imagine, within our kids, just they're outside of their comfort zone. We move them out of a place in Burlington where they grew up all their life. So there's behavioral things that we've been having to contend with and adapt. And it's hard. It has been hard. It has been hard. There's really no way to sugarcoat it. And I think too often it's easy to be, oh yeah, it's been great, all daisies and roses and everything like that. But my pastor friends, it really hasn't. And as much again, hear me, we have been grateful for this season. And without this season, who knows if we would have even known what the best next connection flight would be with Erie. And again, we're so grateful for my parents, and they didn't have to say yes. They didn't have to bring in a family of 5. My dad works from home. He's almost retired. My mom just retired. And so, grandparents, here's another thing. Grandparents are not meant, and I know this has to happen more so this day and age, and I'm not saying they shouldn't be, okay? But there's psychological things and there's different studies and all that kind of stuff out there. Grandparents aren't meant to be parents anymore for a lot of different psychological, physical, all different types of things. They're meant to be grandparents, Okay, there's that circle of life and stages of life for a reason. Now, there's so many amazing grandparents out there that, yes, you have taken on, taking care of, because there's no other choice, right? And thank you so much for opening up your home and taking care of your grandkids and bringing them in like your own, because for some reason their biological parents can't, or maybe they're not around anymore. So please hear my heart when I say that. I'm not saying grandparents shouldn't come in and help when they're able and they're willing, but different things I've discovered, experienced, read about, learned about, dug in to, it still doesn't mean that grandparents are meant to be parents again, because they're in a different season of their life, and there's so many other variables against that from happening to the best of their ability, and it's not their fault. So it's just stressors. It stresses on them. It stresses, then it stresses us as parents, and then it stresses the kids. And so, like I said, hopefully you've been hearing my heart throughout this whole thing. It's not necessarily one certain thing that's made it hard. There's just a lot. There's just a lot that goes into it. And so that's kind of been, what this last 8 months has looked like, between Courtney momming, Emmy homeschooling, Ellis being a whole boy in a bag of chips, Etney, little sweet Etney, she's still our bundle of joy. She's getting a little sassy, and man, she's becoming to have a personality. Has really come out these last almost 8 months, because it'll be 8 months by the time we move on May 7th. Be right about 8 months. So we said six months to a year, so 8 months. And but I think everybody in the home was probably done by 6 months. Myself, my wife, the kids, my parents, and there's no harm in saying that we are probably all just done with it, for many different reasons that I've already shared. So let me see. So that's what my family, and then I've been life and health coaching, and then Uber and liftering. So that's really what these last 8 months have looked like. I did during the wrestling season drive into Burlington a couple times a week, and even though it was a limited wrestling season, a shorter wrestling season, I did serve and volunteer my 7th full year as a volunteer wrestling coach at Burlington High School, and that's been one of the hardest things to step away from, for sure. Said my goodbyes there, and if any of you wrestlers or wrestling communities listen to this, I love you guys so much. What you guys, it was just an honor to serve you and be a part of all your lives and your families, and over the course of the last 7 years, and I hope many of us can stay in contact still. So, and I do hope to get involved into high school again in Erie. Not this next year, but, to coach again and help and to volunteer. And, who knows which one of my kids are going to wrestle. Ellis, I'm going to introduce this next year too. Maybe little Etney. We've already determined it's probably not for Emerson, but Ellis, and then potentially maybe even Etney, because girls wrestling is blowing up, and I love that too. And so, sorry, I just go on these little side tangents, but let's see, where was I? I mean, that's basically what we've been doing. That's what these last 8 months have looked like, how they felt, what our experience is. And obviously right now we're like T-minus 20 days from moving to Erie, and the next episode is going to be all about Erie. So I'm not going to start digging into that and how that all came about, and the whole journey there, how that came. I'm going to refrain from jumping into that. But that is what our last 8 months in Economo Walk, Ashepin has looked like. Also I've been able to, see a lot of friends still, and driving to Burlington, driving to other cities, meet up with people personally. We're saying goodbye to a lot of people right now, which has been really tough. I've cried definitely a few times, and it's really hard. For me, man, I should save this for the next episode. But basically, I'm a Midwest boy, and let's just say it's been hard to say goodbye to people over the last month or so. So yeah, let me save that for the next episode and go into some of those details as we're moving on to Erie. So I will conclude with this, is again, because I want, even though I've said it a few times, and I just want people to make sure we are clear about some things. We knew God shifted us and moved us out of Burlington, out of vocational ministry, into this season, living with my parents and everything like that. We knew in our hearts, it was a God thing and a good thing for our family. Doesn't mean every good thing and God thing is going to be easy, right? If you're comfortable, you're not growing. There's going to be turbulence, right? People, connection flights, turbulence, and there's going to be pros and cons. And everything I shared with you today on this episode, hopefully you heard those pros and cons loud and clear, because at the end of the day, again, it wasn't just one thing or just one person. It was so much that went into this last 8 months that made it great, but also hard. But again, super grateful for my parents, for them to be in their late 60s and to open up their home to a young family with 3 kids. Again, not everyone would be able or willing to do that. And so this is a season we will look fondly on, but we're also very grateful to be moving forward and start that reset again in a new chapter, in a new connection flight coming up here in Erie, PA. So I will end with that, because next episode is all about Erie and the last little details here as we move out of Oconomowoc, Ashipim, into the next. So, yeah, I think that'll be good for you. So, all right, my pastor friends, I hope you enjoyed your ride today in my Carffice. Hope it helped you in your current location or towards your next destination. Connection flight? Until next time, be well.